I'm gonna make coffee for two, but people in the video can just think that I drink a lot of coffee.
Nice.
30 seconds where I wait and question my existence. Yeah. It's in this very short moment that I don't like being a morning person, but it's soon resolved. Hardy does.
What do you normally do when you get up in the morning?
I do this. Chill out here for a bit. Just take in the view. I love noticing little details. So what I'm noticing this morning is how calm the water is. And then in the sky, love the pastel blue over there. And like a little bit of pink. Life's better when you notice things. Hello, my name's William. I am a friend of Gerhardus that happens to do artsy stuff, which is why I'm here. I've got a few creative outlets: drawing, photography, filming, painting. For drawing, it's my ability to interpret my surroundings, and I think that's the same for painting as well. It's my ability to interpret what I'm seeing and represent that on a page, on a 2D space. So with photography, it's less about how I interpret the world and more about letting the environment speak, noticing what it's saying, and then highlighting those things with the composition, with focusing on certain details instead of others.
That sounds like it's got a personality, it's got a,
Yeah.
a voice.
I do think it's saying things if we're willing to listen or look. So it's all a metaphor, of course. Like this morning, we were hoping for a beautiful sunrise, but the world was like, nah, I'm going to do this instead. And then it's being able to see like, oh, okay, cool. What is the beauty in this? And there is beauty in each moment. I've been drawing and stuff ever since I was little. My mom's very creative. So I've been brought up in a household that appreciates creativity, that appreciates making things. Maybe when I was about 5 or so, drawing my first comic or something. And then I thought, oh yeah, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to draw comics and I'm going to sell them and stuff. And then I was like, I don't know, in grade 1 or 2 or whatever, and I'm busy selling comics to people of this like little superhero guy. When I was thinking about what to do with my life, I thought, hang on, I could go the art route, I could go the photography route with, freelance photography or photojournalism. And then I chatted with 1 or 2 mentors, and they said, well, why not graphic design? Because then I have access to all these different mediums: video, photography, art, but then I can learn the sort of the business behind it. So yeah, I did that, studied at DUT. It's a bit worn, haven't really kept it well, but there's my logo.
That's so cool.
Yeah. There's some packaging. So a box for a solar inverter. I made a little GIF about how it folds, and then I've got a little thing over here that you can make the box. There we go. Here's another animation that I made. I'll send it to you. But we were meant to take a word and then represent what the feeling of that word. So I took stoked, and that's like a very adventurous thing. This is me with my mangrove hair. I used to have long hair, and this was my representation of how I felt with my long hair. I come from Zini, which has a lagoon, so there's mangroves. If I wasn't doing photography, if I wasn't doing some form of art, whether it's painting or drawing or filming, and all, I have no idea what I'd be doing. Probably something like in the humanities, I don't know. It's a huge part of who I am. A relative of mine gave me some film cameras, which was really, really cool. This one is a Canon AE1 film camera, and I do use this a lot. Get a roll of film, so I'll have 36 frames, 36 exposures that I can. That's what I've got to work with, and yeah, I just love the feel of the images. I love the grain. I love the imperfections. I love not being able to see what the results, like I can't see the image and then be like, oh, my exposure was a bit low, I need to change that. Or, what I get is what I get. And a bit like watercolor, it's like, what happens, happens. So it is peaceful, yes. But it's also like a frantic rush. Like, oh, it's drying. I need to get this paint and this color. I need to make this pigment and change it. And oh no, it's actually like, it's fast paced. And I like watercolor specifically because I just go and then work with what happens. So it's a lot more free.
It's a lot more fluid, I suppose.
It's a lot more fluid. like it's color, but it's like fluid. It's like watercolor. Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
Revelation.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. And it's both. It both adds pressure, but also is freeing at the same time. I don't know what's what. I don't know if you can see. So it's negatives, but here we were camping and we went on a hike.
No.
Here's Matt Kirkman. There's Nick. There's a bunch of us, and I'll show you the photos afterwards, but we're all watching a sunset. In grade 11, I wasn't really sure where I was going, and I just prayed to God. I said, Lord, show me my talents and I'll use them for your good. I prayed that prayer, and then I sort of like just carried on with life and just, did my thing or whatever. By his plans, not by my plans, I've been able to use my talents for his goodness. At Project Exodus, I'm in a space where I can make videos, I can do this design work, I can do photography, so that we can get a message of recovery and freedom out to all people. It's a message of hope, it's a message of redemption, it's a message of forgiveness. We are shining a light of hope. Not only hope in recovery, but also hope in Jesus.
The first kind of answer you gave originally was how you listen to the world and then like you replicate it. Now you're talking about giving the world hope, almost like speaking to the world and like putting something back into the world. How does it feel now to not only be a listener, but also to be like a voice?
That's really cool. It's a good way of thinking about it. So I've often struggled with like a level of imposter syndrome, or not feeling like what I'm doing is valuable or relevant. That's my own flawed thinking or flawed beliefs. But being able to be in a space where my ability to create is impacting a community that need help, it's very special. I think to some degree I should back myself a little bit more, and it sounds obnoxious for me to say that. I don't know, I feel the feeling I'm feeling saying this now is like, oh no, look at this guy, he's being a bit self-focused or whatever. But I think it does allow me to back myself a bit more, that hey, look, this thing that I'm making, it is changing people, and it can change people for the better. And that's a privilege. That's a real privilege to be in. I was listening to something and it reminded me that, like, if we're comparing, we might get discouraged and say like, oh, well, it's never going to be an Oscar-winning film, or it's never going to hang in this like fancy museum, but make it anyway. Doesn't matter about the status of the art or the status of the film or the image and all that. Take the photo anyway. paint the painting anyway, because we have that moment to create, to be imitators of God's world. What is good, what is bad, and all that. That's a human construct of like that's based on culture. That's based on societies and all that. That none of that stuff matters. Just make the thing, and allow that to be a piece of joy and fun and intrigue and curiosity in that moment right then and there. For that, it is worth it. After that, whatever the artwork, the image, the film, whatever that can do after that, that's bonus. If it can just, hang on a wall somewhere, that's cool. Don't allow a human construct to prevent you from making something with your talents that God has given you.
What you reading?
Luke 4 verse, or Luke 4.
Nice.
Yeah. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because He has anointed me to proclaim the news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives. This is a Project Exodus plug. And recording and recovering of sight to the blind, and set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor.
Enjoy, Luke.
Yeah, Luke, it's good.